And our mics are on.
Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to call the Town of Rocky Mountain House inaugural meeting to order. The Town of Rocky Mountain House wishes to acknowledge that the land on which we gather is Treaty 6 territory and a traditional meeting ground and home for many Indigenous people, including the Blackfoot, Cree, Saulteaux, Stoney, and Métis. So the first order of business, if I can have Mayor-elect Bache come up to meet with Staff Sergeant Dinsdale for her swearing in.
Good afternoon. Congratulations. There's a Bible there if you wish to hold it, you may. And I will ask you to raise your right hand and repeat after me, please. I, Debbie Bache,
I, Debbie Bache,
swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability
swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability
execute according to law the office of mayor for the town of Rocky Mountain House.
execute according to law the mayor of Rocky Mountain House.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Oop. I already touched it. COVID. Okay. I lose your worship. Again, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
It's there.
Congratulations, Mayor. I now turn the chair over to you.
Thank you very much. So we're going to call. Can you please turn that on? Thank you very much. We're going to call Counselor-elect Dave Auld up to take the oath, please.
Good afternoon. Step forward just inside the blue there. Congratulations. I ask that you, it's an affirmation, so I don't believe you have to. Do you still want them raising their right hand for the affirmation? Sure. Could I ask you to raise your right hand, please, and repeat after me? I, David Auld. I, David Auld. Solemnly affirm that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability.
Solemnly affirm that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability
Execute according to law.
execute according to law
The office of counselor for the town of Rocky Mountain House.
the office of counselor for the town of Rocky Mountain House.
Well done. Congratulations. Silence, yeah. Congratulations, Councilor Auld.
I would now ask Counselor-elect Shane Boniface.
Congratulations, Mr. Boniface.
Thank you.
Ask that you raise your right hand, please, sir, and repeat after me. I, Shane Boniface,
I, Shane Boniface,
solemnly affirm that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability
solemnly affirm that I will diligently and best of my ability
execute according to law
execute according to law
the office of counselor for the town of Rocky Mountain House.
the office of counselor for the town of Rocky Mountain House.
Very good, sir. So get you to sign those. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Councilor Boniface.
Thank you.
We will now call Counselor-elect Marley Caprero.
Congratulations, Ms. Caprero.
Yeah.
The Bible is there if you wish to hold it. And I'll ask that you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Marley Caprero,
I, Marley Caprero,
swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability,
swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability,
execute according to law
execute according to law
the office of counselor for the town of Rocky Mountain House.
the office of counselor for the town of Rocky Mountain House.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Very good.
You.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Councilor Caprero.
We'll now ask Counselor-elect Maren Fraser, please.
Thank you. Repeat after me, please. I, Maren Fraser,
I, Maren Fraser,
solemnly affirm
solemnly affirm
that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability,
that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability,
execute according to law
execute according to law
the office of counselor for the town of Rocky Mountain House.
the office of counselor for the town of Rocky Mountain House.
Very good. Get you to sign those. Wonderful. Congratulations, Councilor Fraser.
I now call Counselor-elect Tina Hutchinson, please.
Congratulations. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Tina Hutchinson,
I, Tina Hutchinson,
solemnly affirm
solemnly affirm
that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability,
that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability,
execute according to law
execute according to law
the office of counselor for the town of Rocky Mountain House.
the office of counselor for the town of Rocky Mountain House.
Very good. Here we are. Congratulations, Councilor Hutchinson.
Thank you.
I will now call up Counselor-elect Len Phillips, please.
Phillips, congratulations. The Bible is there. Ask you to raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Len Phillips,
I, Len Phillips,
swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability,
swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability,
execute according to law
execute according to law
the office of counselor for the town of Rocky Mountain House.
the office of counselor for the town of Rocky Mountain House.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Very good. Congratulations, Councilor Phillips.
Thank you very much. So item number 4 on your agenda, adoption of the agenda. Are there any additions or deletions from the agenda? Could I have a motion to accept the agenda as presented?
I will make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
All in favor? Carried. Seating arrangements, 5.1. So I would like a motion to resolve that seating arrangements, whereas the right of Mayor Bates shall be Councillor Phillips, Councillor Caprero, Councillor Fraser, and on the left side shall be Councillor Ald, Councillor Hutchinson, and Councillor Boniface in that order. Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Item number 6.1, the deputy mayor schedule. So in front of us, we have the listing of, I would just like some discussion on this for one brief moment. Because would prefer that Len Phillips went first because he's been on council the longest, and then follow through with the alphabetical order of the rest of the time. Does anybody have any discussions towards that?
Just if we're doing it alphabetically, Councillor Ald would be first, and he's been on council before.
Right, but you've been on the longest. So then we have 2 before Shane goes. Right?
Yep, I guess I've had a term in, correct?
Yeah, that's all I was asking. Does Councillor Ald, do you feel comfortable with that, or would you prefer to go first?
No, it's fine. It's like we said before, it's not as exciting and sexy as it seems to be, but it's not a big deal.
So would someone like to present the motion?
I'll present the motion that we accept the deputy mayor's schedule. I'd like to motion to accept the deputy mayor's schedule
So it
What's the
would,
word?
as amended.
so it would go Councillor Phillips, Councillor Ald, Councillor Boniface, Councillor Caprero, Councillor Fraser, and Councillor Hutchinson. Thank you very much. All in favor? Carried. So sorry, 7.1, the conference convention schedule, Federation of Canadian Municipalities, FCM, Alberta Urban Municipalities of Alberta, AUMA, and the Rural Municipalities of Alberta, RMA. Just going to go to the dates. So June 2nd to 5th, 2022, Regina, Saskatchewan. It would be Mayor Bates and then 2 councillors. Do we have, can we have some discussion on that? Because we don't have that placed yet, right? Correct?
That's correct.
So typically what happens is there's 6 councillors, 2 goes each time. So two can go the first time, two the second time, two the third time, the fourth time, everybody's name can kind of get drawn out and those two get to go a second time. That's typically how these are chosen. And then it's chosen between who's available to what, for what years is how I would go after that.
Thank you very much. Is anybody, yes, Dave, or
Um,
Counselor Ald?
The only, if you can not include my name in the 2022 or 2022 year, June is actually all of 2022 is not going to be good for me traveling.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? Counselor Fraser, did you have any date conflicts on those dates?
No, later is always better for me because then my kids will be that many years older, but whatever works for everyone is fine.
Okay. So my recommendation, if no one has any volunteers, would be Counselor Phillips and Counselor Hutchinson to go to the first FCM conference. Does anyone have any problems with that? The second date is on 2023 from May 25th to the 28th in Toronto, Ontario. That's the FCM again. Do I have anyone interested in attending that one? Shane Boniface. Thank you, Counselor Boniface.
I'm
Martha,
happy to go then too.
perfect. On 2024, May 30th to June 2nd, Calgary, Alberta. Dave, Counselor Ald, sorry, and Mayor and Counselor Fraser. So that would be 2, 2, and 2, right? And I think we could leave off the last one because the date's not to be determined yet, even like the location. Does that sound reasonable?
Mayor, that's totally reasonable. I mean, council does review this list every organizational meeting every October, so
Perfect.
that's fine.
Thank you very much. So we'll move on towards the upcoming RMA and the UMA conference convention schedule. The first one is November 17th to 19th in Edmonton. And so we missed the deadline for that. And are we still able to attend that?
Mayor, so for the AUMA conference, sorry, everyone is registered already for AUMA, so that's this November. Administration does need to know if someone cannot attend because we need to cancel registration and hotel rooms. And I think we just got an email today from AUMA asking us to hurry up. So if council could confirm who could go to AUMA this year, be appreciated. And just to let council know, this AUMA is actually a special one for the town of Rocky. We are receiving the Alberta Environmental Award at this conference. That would be presented to council at this conference. So.
Thank you very much. Is there anybody that's unable to attend on November 17th to 19th of 2021 this year? Let's give a minute.
Yeah, being it's during the week, I'm not available to take off that time.
Okay, thank you very much, Counselor Ald. Okay, so the RMA Spring Convention is March 14th to 16th in Edmonton. And then, I'm sorry, Mr. Kraus, does everyone go to that one as well? I think I have it just 2. Is that correct?
Yeah, so Mayor, so for AUMA, all of council goes. For RMA, it's typically the mayor and 2 councillors.
Thank you very much. Would there be any volunteers to go on March 14th to 16th of 2022 in Edmonton to the RMA Spring Conference?
I'm available to go to that conference, yes.
Counselor Hutchinson, are you available on those dates?
Sure.
Because then we can go with the same order as I did the other meetings. And do we need to know all the rest of the dates on the following list, Mr. Kraus?
Mayor, you do not. I mean, we could bring it back to council at a later date as it gets closer to the date.
Okay.
Unless you want to select all of 2022, and then in our organizational meeting next October, we could do 2023. So
That sounds fantastic. So on the RUMA, so the RMA Fall Convention would be November 7th to 10th of 2022 in Edmonton. And would Councillor Boniface and Councillor Caprero have those days available? And then we stay with the same order as the other ones? Does that sound fair? Thank you very much. Okay, moving forward. Can we have a motion that we, do we need a motion to carry that, what we just decided?
yes, you do, Mayor. So, but it can be all in one motion. And
I'll make a motion that the conference schedules for RMA and AUMA are accepted as presented.
Thank you very much. Carried. Oh,
All in favor?
oh yeah, okay. Okay, item 8, appointment to committees. So everybody's had a chance to review the committee that are available for councillors. And the first one on the list for intermunicipal committees is the airport committee. Do I have any councillors that are interested in being on that committee? Councillor Ald,
I'd be interested in being on that committee for sure.
thank you very much. Councillor Caprero. Is there anybody else interested on that committee? I'm very interested in being on the airport committee. So as Councillor Ald's previously been on that committee, is that correct?
Yeah.
I would like if we could agree on that myself and Councillor Caprero are on that committee. Is that possible?
so, Mayor, each councillor can put forth their name. If there's more than the committee members that are required, it can go to like a ballot by council, a secret ballot.
Okay,
To select that, or one can offer to be the alternate, because you need 2 council members and 1 alternate for this
okay,
committee.
perfect. Can we hear from Councillor Ald, please?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, being that I was on it before, I do have some history with it. I'd like to be on it. If Marley wanted to be an alternate, that would be, but I would like to be on it. If she wants to be on it, then we can throw it to a vote.
Go ahead, Mark.
I'm okay with being the alternate.
Perfect. So then that's settled. Clearwater Regional FCSS Board. Is anybody interested in being on that committee? Mr. Phillips?
Yes, I'd be interested in being on that committee.
Ms. Hutchinson, I was wondering if that would interest you because it's quite a big portfolio. And you're just very keen on looking at that. Was that one of the ones that you had looked at?
No.
Okay.
I could.
No, that's okay because we need an alternate. Is that correct?
No,
Yes.
So would you be comfortable being the alternate for that?
sure.
Okay, you had to turn your mic on and off. Is that
Yes.
correct? Thank you very much. So we'll have Councillor Phillips and then the alternate will be Councillor Hutchinson for the Clearwater Regional FCSS Board. The Intermunicipal Collaboration Committee, ICC. Do you have anybody interested in that committee? Sorry, Councillor Hutchinson. And could I have an alternate for that committee, please? Okay, so thank you very much, Counselor Boniface. The IDP, I need 2 counselors and an alternate. It's intermunicipal development plan. It's on the list.
Yeah, Mayor, just to follow up. So the town and the county have an intermunicipal development plan. It's dated 2007, so it actually needs to be reviewed sometime in this term. But under that agreement, which is adopted by bylaw, there is a committee, so we have to appoint to this committee. It will be a committee, I think, that it will be imperative for economic development, because really what the IDP deals with is development on the fringe areas between the county and the town.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So is there any counselors that were Ms. Hutchinson and Ms. Capero? And then we have an alternate. Sorry, Mayor and Ms. Fraser, did you have your hand up for that one?
I thought that community was disbanded, but I'm thinking.
But I think I'm thinking ICF, not IDP.
Okay, so we're gonna have Counselor Hutchinson and Counselor Caprero on that, and then I would like to know if there's an alternate. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's the reflection of the glass. And so the alternate would be Counselor Phillips. Thank you very much. The negotiating committee, which is a newer committee, I would need 2 counselors and an alternate again, please.
Sorry, I think this committee, in just my personal opinion, that we should have at least one of the previous counselors on this one, because there's some negotiating that's already been going on prior to this council. So it may be beneficial to at least have one pre-existing council member on this committee.
Thank you very much. Counselor Fraser, were you wanting to be on that committee?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. And was there someone else interested in that committee? Thank you very much. Could I have an alternate then, Mr. Phillips and Ms. Fraser? And then alternate will be Counselor Caprero. Recreation, Parks and Community Service. Okay, so we have 2 very interested candidates, and I know that Counselor Fraser was on last time, and I know that Counselor Hutchinson did the 2019 Masters Games, and so would either one of you?
She can absolutely do Parks and Rec. It's a great committee for sure. I put my hand up just because it's one of the evening ones. So
Oh, excellent. Excellent. So would that be okay for you to be alternate there? Perfect. Thank you very much. So it'll be Counselor Hutchinson and then Counselor Fraser as the alternate. The Regional Study Steering Committee, the Regional Study Steering Committee. Any interest on that one?
Mayor,
Yes.
just to bring council up to date on that. So that was for the regional governance study that was just concluded and was adopted by council. Council can actually disband this task force.
Thank you very much. So do we need a motion now or do we do that at the end?
At the end would be fine.
Okay.
Mayor.
Rocky Public Library Board and Parkland Regional Library System Board. Mayor Phillips, Counselor Phillips. And could we have an alternate council member required only for the PRLS board? Could we have an alternate for the Parkland Regional Library System Board? Counselor Fraser. School Resource Officer Steering Committee.
I'd be interested in that one.
Thank you very much, Counselor Ald. And could I have a alternate, please? Okay, Counselor Boniface will be the alternate. Okay, town committees, the anti-racism task, yes, anti-racism task force. Counselor Boniface. And can I have an alternate, please? Thank you, Counselor Ald. The COVID-19 Recovery Task Force, we're going to dissolve that at the end of this discussion today, so we can move on to Environmental Sustainability Committee. All council is on that one. Finance Framework Committee, all council is on that one. Land Development Task Force Committee, all council is on that one. Municipal Emergency Advisory Committee. I need 2 councillors and we don't need an alternate. Counselor Phillips, and you were on that last time as well, and Counselor Caprero, and now I can't see out of both sides. Did anyone? Okay, thank you very much. Municipal Planning, MPC. Counselor Ald was on there previously. Is anybody interested in being on MPC? Counselor Ald and Counselor Hutchinson. Thank you very much. Did you have your hand up, Counselor Phillips?
No,
Okay, sorry. I'm like flipping back and forth and I have to look faster. And we do need an alternate for that. So I would be an alternate for that. The policing committee. So we need 1 counselor for that and 1 alternate. Yeah, so on the next page, it says counselor. So did I say it wrong?
Oh, yeah, you're right. There's an extra line on the top.
Sorry, Dave, could you repeat that?
Sorry, just on the electronic version, it just says mayor and councillor as an alternate. I don't
Yeah.
have it on the second sheet.
Yeah, it's on the next
Yeah.
page. It's at the very top that
Yeah.
says mayor and council.
Just not on the electronic.
Okay, perfect. So we do need a counselor and Counselor Boniface.
So I'd be interested in that, yes.
Okay. Is that fair for everybody? Excellent. And it doesn't look like we need an alternate on that one. So moving on to page
Mayor?
2.
Sorry to interrupt. Yeah,
Yes.
an alternate is required for that one.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just not on the sheet. Thank you very much, Counselor Phillips. Youth Advisory Committee. So I have questions about that. That's a new committee that we never discussed. And I'm just wondering if that has been, if we could hold that over to the next, not hold it over, if we pick committee members, but if we could discuss it at the next council meeting, because it's a fairly big budget item, and I'm just not sure if we need to have council go to council 6 times a year for that. Can we discuss that at the next? We'll pick. Is that? Am I doing it the right way?
Mayor, I think Councillor Fraser wants to discuss this, but
Yes. I just wanted to say I'm on that committee and we just got it up and running. I know with COVID, we bumped, it was set up and we gave everyone their positions, but I think we'd only had 1 or 2 meetings. So I was just saying that I'd like to continue to sit on it to kind of keep some momentum going for that particular committee, just because we've just got them on there. I think they've kind of just found their feet. So I think some consistency would be good for them.
Right. So when I pulled up the like on the bylaw from July 2020, because I wasn't familiar with that committee at all, like we just must not have discussed it, that I took notes on. It says in here that we have to meet a minimum of 6 times a year. Is that correct? Unless,
so Mayor, I can just provide background. So the previous council wanted to have a youth advisory council that would give the youth perspective to municipal matters being brought forward to council. So for an example, like the rec master plan went to the Youth Advisory Council for their input on that. So it's been established. We do have a youth council. If council wants to discuss the merits again of that council, the youth council, we would just need a motion to bring it back to council for discussion.
Okay. I would like to present the motion that we bring that back to council for discussion at the next meeting, please. And then what is the phrase I use? We all vote, yes?
Yes.
All in favor? To abstain, is that correct? Opposed, sorry, opposed. And so carried.
Sorry, Mayor, I didn't see the hands.
Yeah. So it was
um,
everyone except for counselor, except for two. Is that correct? Can we vote again, please? We're voting to review the youth advisory bylaw on the next meeting. Correct?
Yeah, so all in favor?
All in favor? So 4 and
Opposed.
3 opposed.
So
and
it carries.
Carried? Yeah, okay. I will get this sooner than later. Okay, so for now, could we put Counselor Fraser, would you like to remain on that committee?
I will remain on that. committee.
And then we would need a alternate, please. Counselor Capero. Is that correct? I didn't miss anybody. Thank you very much. Moving on. Alberta Japan Twin Municipalities Association, the mayor without an alternative. Central Alberta Mayors and Reeves, the mayor and the deputy mayor. Clearwater Community Policing Advisory Committee, or CCPAC. We need a counselor and an alternate. So
I will volunteer for that one.
Counselor Boniface. And could I have an alternate for that one, please? Counselor Phillips. Community Futures. I need a counselor for that committee. Counselor Phillips. North Saskatchewan Watershed Alliance, the NSWA membership is the mayor. Rocky Community Learning Counselor. I need a counselor and an alternate, please. And
I
thank
can continue to sit on that.
thank you very much, Counselor Fraser. Could I have an alternate for that committee? I will be an alternate for that. Rocky Mountain House Clearwater County Healthcare Professionals Engagement Team. And I think we discussed that that's still going. 2 council designates have been selected for a 1-year term. Yes. So we've already, sorry.
Yeah, no, thank you, Mayor. So with that committee, council has an option of assigning council members or delegating that down to have public members being the town representative there. Currently, there's 2 public members on that committee for council.
Okay, excellent. Could we just keep those public members on that council and move forward?
Yes, they were assigned for a 1-year term, and we'd have to look to see when that term is up, but we bring it back to council when their term is getting close to end for council's decision.
Perfect. Rocky Museum and Operations, 2 counselors and an alternate. Counselor Phillips. And I will, Counselor Boniface, and I would be the alternate if the last one, Rocky Senior Housing Council. I need 1 counselor, please. Counselor Hutchinson, thank you very much. So we need a motion to accept the committee appointments as discussed.
I'll make a motion that we accept the 2021-22 council committees as presented.
Thank you very much. All in favor? And carried.
Mayor, sorry to interrupt, but do we just have separate motions for dissolving the regional study steering committee and the COVID recovery task?
Yes. So could we have a motion to disband the Regional Study Steering Committee, please? Counselor Fraser.
I so move.
Sorry. Can we vote, please? All in favor? Carried. So now we need a motion to disband COVID-19 Recovery Task Force, please.
I will move to disband that COVID recovery task force.
All in favor? I can't seem to remember that one. Okay, so then I believe we're finished with committees. Is that correct? Yes. So moving on, 9.1, council calendar and council calendar and important upcoming dates. I noticed that there are two conflicting dates with the conference schedules. And so I'm wondering if we could move the November 8th of 2022 council meeting and the March 15th of 2022 council meeting, because that is, it's interfering with something. The RMA and yeah, so if we could move those two dates to the 22nd of November and the 22nd of March, so that it doesn't fall in the week that those conferences are. And the last date, I'm not sure if I can move it now that we're this close. Mr. Kraus, maybe you could tell me further, but the it seems like the training for the Muni MO 101 is during the 16th of November council meeting.
Mayor, yeah, that is entirely up to council. Council by resolution can cancel or shift a meeting. So it'd just be a resolution if council wanted to move the November 16th meeting.
Okay, so could I have a council resolution to move the dates and, yes, sorry, Mr. Phillips.
Sorry, but before we make a resolution, might I suggest, rather than changing a council meeting, it might be better to change that particular date, because I know that Muni 101 course is offered on 5 or 6 different dates.
And they all conflict with other things.
Yeah.
Except for the one in Lethbridge, and I would rather drive to Edmonton than to Lethbridge for the meeting, because there was a second email, is that correct? I don't know if everybody saw that, but there was a second email that said that it conflicted with everything except for Lethbridge, is that correct?
Mayor, I'd have to look at that email
I didn't
again.
print that
but,
email off, but I did look at it this morning because I was, yeah, okay, so
Yeah, so-
so then I move that we could move the November 16th until further in the month of November. Does that work? Or should we cancel it altogether? I'm open for discussion on that one.
Who all is wants to attend it? Yeah, who wants to attend the meeting, wherever it's at on those dates?
Well, I'm sorry, it's further down on the list, so I'm not sure. I would like to attend that for sure.
I know the Muni 101 course is offered December 9th and 10th in Three Hills. I've registered for that one.
Okay,
I just think it's more prudent to try and schedule individuals around conferences than to try and remove a council meeting or change a council meeting.
correct. Can I have words from Constable or Councillor Fraser?
I got a promotion.
Yes, yeah.
I guess do we have quorum to have that meeting? Just with the deputy mayor instead? Because that's normally what happens if someone's away, is that we just kind of shift. So do we have enough quorum if there's, who's going to that one, I guess?
So here's another question before we continue on. Is it not? So my question is that, do we not all have to take that 101 in our first year term?
Mayor, so there's a legal obligation that we provide a formal orientation to council. We are actually doing that Thursday, which meets the requirements of legislation. But the Community 101 is an excellent course, so I would encourage both for council, but we do meet our legal obligation by our orientation on this Thursday.
Okay. Counselor Hutchinson, you were asking about that on Friday, correct?
Yeah, I'm good for the 5th and 6th of November in White Court.
Okay.
So as long as there's
You're from
space.
White Court, yeah?
Well, all my kids are there, so it makes it
Okay.
easy. Yeah.
Mr. Boniface, what about, oh, sorry, Mr. Phillips.
I do know that, just from previous council, the Muni 101 program is offered more than just this one time. There was other times during the 4-year term that it was offered. The elected officials program is who puts on these workshops, and I know they offer these at different times over the 4-year term. So we're not going to miss out if we don't do it in the next month or two. There will be opportunities after the fact to do it.
Thank you very much. Do you want to look at those other dates then?
Look at the other dates for me, please.
Sorry, you need your microphone.
Yes, please. I'd like to look at other dates.
Okay, thank you very much. So we will leave the November 16th council meeting as it stands. And can we move the other 2 dates for the UMAs for March? It would be the RMA. So we would be missing the mayor and 2 councillors on March 15th of 2022. Can we move that meeting to the 22nd? Could we have a motion to move that meeting to the 22nd, please?
I'll make a motion to move meeting to the 22nd of March, 2022.
Thank you very much, Councillor Boniface. All in favor? Carried. So then the other meeting date conflict was the November the 8th of 2022. And it's an RMA again from the November 7th to the 10th. So we would be missing the mayor and 2 councillors. Can we move, it's an evening meeting. Can we move that to the 22nd?
Mayor, generally our council's evening meetings are the lighter meetings of it, so it'd almost be fine to cancel that meeting if council wish.
Okay,
Council also got to remember, if there's any urgent matters that ever come up, a special meeting can be called and stuff like that. So there is flexibility.
okay. Can Councillor Ald?
I was just gonna agree with Dean. Turn it off. What Dean said is that it's usually a quiet meeting, so we would have quorum still, would we not? Yes.
Yes.
So we wouldn't need to cancel it anyway.
Okay, but if it's a late, so my recommendation, can we have a motion either to, well, I think we should cancel it if there's going to be 3 of us away. Quorum is 4. Can we have a motion to cancel that meeting if it's a light meeting anyways? Or you like to keep that meeting?
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Councillor Phillips.
Mayor Beach, I would recommend just keeping that council meeting on the agenda for now. We can always revisit this 3 months or 6 months or 8 months from now.
Okay.
I would just leave it as is for now. And if we have to address it in 6 months' time, we can do that.
Excellent. I was just trying to get rid of all our conflicts at one time. Okay, so I need a motion to move that the council dates as just previously discussed are set and we can move forward.
Sorry, just one point of
Yes.
discussion further is our second meeting of every month is an evening meeting. And I know the rationale for that years ago prior to live streaming was to have an evening meeting so the public could attend an evening meeting and a day meeting as well. I'm just questioning the need for admin time to prepare for an evening meeting when we could have that meeting in the afternoon like the other two meetings. If there's any appetite for council to move that from an evening meeting to a afternoon meeting, simply because everything is live streamed now. We generally have nobody in the seats watching us unless there's a controversial topic. Then of course we get a lot of people. But I would just a recommendation for discussion that we move that evening meeting into an afternoon meeting.
I have a question. Does it, yeah, well, have discussion from Ms. Hutchinson. Councillor
I
Hutchinson.
totally agree with you, Len. It was something that I was looking through and it's like, do we really need these meetings? And if we did have something that's on the agenda that is something to do with the public and we have to call a 7 o'clock meeting, then so we do it.
So I'd like to hear from Councillor Boniface and Councillor Ald because they are having work hours, and would it alleviate your life if we had those in the evening?
I would prefer to keep it in the evening. It's going to be difficult enough balancing business and doing this. So evenings still will work out best for me. If it can be done, but I'll go with the consensus of the group, but I would prefer that.
Councillor Ald and then Councillor Fraser.
I'm the same as Shane. I've kind of got my work schedule juggled around these meetings, and I've got it to work so pretty well now. If majority wants to see them all move into the day, that's the way it is, but it definitely works better for me to have that just the 2 full days during the month.
That sounds perfect. Councillor Fraser.
I agree with Councillor Old. Right now I'm doing a 0.8 teaching contract, and so that
Same thing.
I'm able to move things around for that extra day, but if there was another meeting, that would make things complicated for me, at least now, so.
Okay, so I would like to put a motion back on the floor to say that we keep the meetings on the days as discussed. Can I have a motion for that, please?
I'd like to make a motion that we keep the times and dates for the meetings as scheduled.
What's my word? All in favor? I'm gonna put a Post-it note right here. Carried. Bylaw review, Code of Conduct Bylaw 2018/13V review. I'd like to have someone give a motion that we accept that bylaw as exists.
Yeah, for information, Mayor.
Okay.
Right, because we will be going through them in detail this week.
Councillor Ald, did you want to make that motion?
I was just gonna see if Dean thought he needed to clarify anything in this, or if we just accept it for.
So Mayor, on Thursday, the legal counsel will be going through the legislative portion of it. Then on Friday afternoon, I'll be going through the procedural and code of conduct bylaw in detail with council. So, and then if council wants amendments after that, that would go forward in a future council meeting.
Okay. So could I have a motion that we accept the Code of Conduct Bylaw 2018/13V as information, please? Councillor Ald,
I'll make that motion.
all in favor? Carried. Could I have the same motion for the Code of Conduct Bylaw 2018/13V, please? Sorry, next one, 10.2, Procedure Bylaw 2018/16V. If we could have a motion to present that as information. Councillor Fraser,
I so move.
all in favor? Carried. So thank you very much. We're going to move to a closed session now. Am I doing that the right way?
Yeah, Mayor, you just need a motion to go into closed session.
Sorry, may I have a motion to go into closed session to, please? Councillor Phillips.
I will make that motion.
All in favor? Carried.
Mayor, if you'll give me a moment, I'll shut down our live stream before you move on to